Leave you? Where they do that at? GW cross bridging, Fort Lee living, Ashwater, River Road, GT ignition, MTV crib, Philippe in the kitchen. If I can't get it, my beneath for prison. Yeah, yo, dealer.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. These are going to be two newer fragrances from the house of Dua. I have some new thoughts on Dua, but they're going to be lengthy. I think my opinion on Dua at this point is lengthy. So first I'm going to discuss what Masham sent me, and then I want to talk about Dua, in my opinion on Dua. So how I got these, I was on Facebook and I saw that that Dua had done an interpretation of Invasion Barbar. And Invasion Barbar has probably jumped to my number 2 niche scent of all time. I would say behind Zing by L'Artisan Parfumé. And I mentioned, I was like, wow, you're doing this. This is a scent I love. And he was like, I'll send you a bottle. Never ever mentions to me ever, hey, will you do a review, whatever. So he sent this to me, and then a long time ago, we were supposed to do a video on their original fragrances. And so we kind of talked about that, and he was like, I'll send you one of our originals as well. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on these two scents that he sent me, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about Dua as a perfume house. So these have new presentations. I think they're 30 ml now, so you get a little bit less juice. I think they were 60 at first, but I think the bottles are better. I like the labels better. I think these just look better. I do like the caps. They're light, but as always, the atomizer's beastly. So nothing wrong with the sprayers or presentation on these. So Invasion of the Barbers, 30 ml, $60. The Invasion Barbar, which is my second favorite niche fragrance, 75 ml, at least right as of today, it's my second favorite niche fragrance. Everything can change. 75 ml for $250 without the bust. So you're saving some considerable dough here. Notes on this are grapefruit, bergamot, violet leaf, thyme, cardamom, lavender, ginger, patchouli, vanilla, and musk. Now, let me tell you guys something. With a lot of fragrances, niche, designer, indie, I can smell them at this point, and I can sort of take apart what I think might be in them, what I think makes up the structure, and I think I can guess probably 60 to 70% of what's in them, right? Invasion Barbar is unbelievably difficult for me. I don't know what they did with Invasion Barbar, which is why I believed it would be an unbelievably hard scent to clone. And I've never seen it cloned before. Like, it's not like there's no shave soaps that have cloned it. I don't think there's any other designer houses that have tried to clone it, or cologne houses that have tried to clone it. And it's not 100% accurate, but it's 98.1% accurate. It's that close. I'm friends, or I was friendly with the owner of Parfums MDCI, Claude, his name's Claude, and he said some critics think that Invasion Barbar smells like a Band-Aid, and there is, to me, a Band-Aid note or a chord almost in Invasion Barbar, and it's here. This is Invasion Barbar. The normal person, it will be impossible for them to tell these apart. They last as long, they perform as well. Invasion Barbar is a little bit different. I think it's I have an older version of it. I think it's got a little more oomph to it. I think it smells a little bit more natural, but my God, this is close. And this is a gorgeous, to me is the best barbershop fragrance of all time. Those are turning into my favorite fragrances. I know Zing isn't one, but like Sartorial, Rive Gauche, Azaro Poron Vintage, these are the fragrances that I'm falling in love with as I progress in my journey, and this is 98.9% Invasion Barbar. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. and I don't believe this is some cheap oil, you know, with alcohol in it. This is Invasion Barbar, basically. Okay. The next one, a little bit more interesting, and I'm going to tell you what I think because I told Masha what I think, and I feel I have a good enough relationship with him to be honest. So the notes on this are white chocolate, patchouli, incense, cocoa beans, suede leather, frankincense, orris, vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, amber, and musk. $55 for 30 ml. And I smelled this, had no preconceived notions, and immediately I thought to myself, oh, this is Chanel Coromandel. All right, we've got white chocolate, patchouli, and incense. I said, this is, and then I know for a fact, I've spoken to some people that I'm very close with in the fragrance retail biz that Chanel is very quick to sue. I've seen cease and desist letters from Chanel to multiple people for multiple things. And my opinion was that this was formulated to replicate Coromandel, and that Dua or recognized that they couldn't put this out there. They wanted to, but they were scared of getting a lawsuit, and so they decided to call it Taboo. And Masham said that's not the case. This was meant to be a Halloween fragrance, and even though the notes are similar, it's not what it is. And I do believe him. I do, because I have what I think is a good relationship with him. I think he'd probably tell me the truth. But I'm telling you what I think, and I'm going to tell you that to me, this smells 80% similar to Coromandel. It's gorgeous, but I would say just go get Coromandel. Now, to be fair here, Coromandel is $200 for 75 ml, and 6.8 ml is $350. So I believe this is 51 cents an ml, while Coromandel is 54 cents an ml. But I think Coromandel is a better fragrance. I think this is really good. You get white chocolate, you get patchouli, and you get incense. I think Coromandel's better, and to me these are very, very close, and they're close enough that I'd recommend getting Coromandel. But this is a great fragrance, and if you've never smelled Coromandel, you're going to love this fragrance. This is white chocolate, patchouli, and incense, and what a great combo that is. So great job on both of these. Okay, so here's again, my opinion evolves on Dua as I work as a perfumer. And you know, it's like people say in politics, when you learn more, what are you supposed to do with your opinion? Are you supposed to lie and keep the opinion you once had, or are you supposed to go through evolution and admit that you've gone through evolution? So let me say this. Looking through the Dua website, they're doing fragrances, and I'll mention some of them. Okay, they've cloned Tom Ford Moss Brush, or Moss Brushes, Xerjoff, Pico Valladama, Creed Royal Service. I'm not going to be able to get these fragrances. They're discontinued. Some of them are discontinued. Some of them are $2,500. The normal person does not have access to a $2,500 fragrance, or a fragrance you need to be at a Russian airport to get. So I think Dua is great for that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I'm not going to go through well, they do this, they just clone. I don't believe that's true at this point. I don't believe they're just cloning oils. I'm not going to get in a debate about it, but I don't believe it to be true. I don't believe that they're buying oils and pouring alcohol in and shipping them out to you. I believe it's way more than that. I believe it might have been that at one point. It's not that anymore. That's my opinion. I'm not best friends with Masham. We've interacted multiple times. He has been nothing but a gentleman to me. He has answered question after question that I've asked him. Maybe I could have him here and do a sort of podcast episode where I can ask him some questions that you guys have, if you'd be interested in hearing him answer them. And I would ask him anything if he'd be interested in that. I don't believe he has anything to hide. So I think Dua's great in that regard. Where I worry about Dua, and I've said this forever, is where they might go with their business. Now I see they're starting to think about cloning fragrances from houses like Slumber House. I know Josh Lobb relatively well. Not we're not best friends, but we've interacted a bunch of times. This guy's not a millionaire. He's doing his thing in a small, I believe, studio in the Pacific Northwest. And, you know, what's said, hey, we clone luxury, hard to get fragrances. You know, some of these Slumber House fragrances, now if they're cloning Slumber House fragrances that have been discontinued, that's one thing. But if they're going to start cloning stuff that's out there, you know, that makes me pause. So I really look at it two ways. I think they're doing a great service and letting people have access to, you know, these hard to get Xerjoffs. These Creed fragrances are $2,500. These discontinued Tom Fords, some of these Raja Doves that are just ridiculously expensive. I think that's cool that they're giving people access to those. And then I worry about where it might be taken. You know, sometimes you might need to make a $400 fragrance because the materials cost that much to you. And then you have to worry about someone coming in and saying, well, that's too expensive, we can dupe it for much less because we can, you know, have access to compounders. That scares me. I don't think that's Dua's fault though. That's just the way that capitalism works, and I'm a capitalist. Through and through, you know, I'll be honest with you, Ayn Rand, you know, Hayek, Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, these are the guys that I look up to, or people that I look up to. And so I can't be mad at what they're doing. They're not breaking laws. And there is a bunch of people out there that love what they're doing. And another thing is I will not turn the dislikes off when I do these videos. I don't think that, I think if you're going to have a channel and you're going to keep your, and this isn't to knock anyone else, but I'm just saying personally, because I've been asked by several people, you know, why don't you just turn that off when you do a video? No, if I'm going to let Ansaroods, I'm going to do a video on Ansaroods, why wouldn't, and keep the likes and dislikes off, why wouldn't I do that for Dua? Maybe I'm not a fragrance reviewer. You know, that's a fair point. Maybe what I do is I want to smell everything I can get my hands on and tell you what I think about it. I am an explorer of fragrance. I'm not a journalist. I'm not here to tell you who's right and who's wrong. As I evolve and become a perfumer, that might change. My opinion might change. I might get angry at what people are doing. But for what I'm doing now, I want people to send me stuff. I want to smell or buy it. God knows I've bought enough and people have sent me enough. I want to smell it and tell you what I think about it. Their morality is out of my wheelhouse. I don't care. Now, if someone is doing something that is illegal, or I believe they're lying to me about what they're doing, I would have a problem with that. But I don't think either of those things are happening here. So that's my opinion. I would recommend buying this if you don't have the money to buy Invasion Barbar. And for this one, I would recommend probably buying Chanel Coromandel. My bet is that Duo Washington will see this and say, great. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he'll come on and we can have a chat later and I can ask him some questions. I think he's a gentleman. I don't think anything Duo is doing is wrong at this point. I have my worries, but I have my worries about what so many fragrance houses are doing. And if you want to talk about what fragrance houses have done to deceive their customers, we can start with a lot of big niche houses that people love, right? That have talked about having a great history. The celebrities they've made fragrances here. There's a lot of things going on in the fragrance world, and I think sometimes at least, Dua is unfairly stereotyped. Does that mean everything they do is perfect? No. I mean, I really would like to see them have a robust line of fragrances that they create and stand on that. I would really like to see that, but I'm not the CEO, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the CFO, I'm not the, you know, the CIO, the CCO. I'm not Dua, man. What Dua is doing is working, and I can understand why. So that is the video on these fragrances. Hey, if there's a Dua scent you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know, and I'll see if I can make it happen. They're always welcome on this channel. I'm just being honest with you guys. If that makes you want to unsubscribe, hit the button. You know, I don't know what to tell you guys. I can understand why you might be upset by that, but I also don't understand why you'd be upset by that. So that's it. My name, obviously, Maximilian. I'll see you guys very soon with more videos.